Welcome back to another episode of the Friendship University podcast. We are here for another episode, another week. We hope that your week was well. We hope you did your homework assignments because we're gonna start collecting. We may start handing out some stickers, some prizes, something. If you really out there doing your homework and turning in your worksheets, making sure that you're paying attention when we're in class, because class is in session, baby. Okay? Session. We're not playing with you. We're back for another week. We are finally at longer days.
Yes, you look so lovely today.
You look lovely. You know,
I had seen your outfit, so I was like, she's shining, so I therefore had to shine
satin
along
on
with
her. You got to coordinate.
So then I had to find me some shiny materials so I could match you.
You dig it? You be shining though.
Shining.
Speaking of shining, if you all have not checked out Tara's YouTube, she has a wonderful New Year's Eve performance that she did at her church, and she is shimmering. Okay, sparkly. Sparkly. It was very sparkly. I love it though.
New Year's Eve,
it looked so good on camera.
Listen, it's New Year's Eve.
You know
what?
I
thought that was a rule. I thought that was a rule.
That's
something
the sparkly.
Got the shimmer.
Like if you go if you've been in the stores in the last few months, you see the New Year's Eve shimmeries on sale. I've seen them. They still on sale. Yeah. But yes, we are back for another week. We did the movie game last week, so I felt like we could still teeter along that line.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm going to throw out some movie quotes.
Okay.
And I would like you to tell me where they're from. And bonus points if you could tell me what character said it in the movie.
Oh, I do my best. I will
do the very best I can. Yes,
I'm not as in depth as you are.
I believe
in the movies, but you are way more. You have a more expansive knowledge.
A cinephile. Base. Yes, I love film. I just really appreciate it. Yeah. I had Movie Pass, and I don't know if you ever seen the documentary on that. It's crazy. I also love documentaries. There is a documentary on Movie Pass. If you're not familiar with Movie Pass, look it up because I can't remember if it's on Hulu or Netflix or where it is. Mm-hmm. But Movie Pass was this thing you could get through AMC. You paid a flat fee a month and you could just see it however many movies you want. I saw certain movies like 4 and 5 times.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But the premise of it didn't, the body of it didn't last because they stole it from a black man. Two white men stole it from a black man. And then it went downhill because how you going to pay $10 a month and see premium primetime movies? Yeah. But I enjoyed it for the year I think I had it. But yes, I believe in you. I used the interwebs. I also did some quotes I felt like you would be familiar with.
I appreciate that.
So, I did a little mix. So, quote number 1. I'm poor, black, I may even be ugly, but dear God, I'm here.
For me, it's you acted it. I thought you was just gonna say it. I didn't know you was gonna.
It just kind of came out of me, actually.
I didn't know.
I didn't plan that. It just kind of happened.
You did good, though. You did good. Academy Award. No, just. I would have to say that would be The Color Purple. The character would be Celie. Miss Celie.
Excellent, Tacy. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day.
Ooh. Is this a sports movie?
No.
You win some, you live some, but you live to fight another day?
You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. I'll go further. I think the line that precedes that is, you think that makes you a man? These make you a man.
Is Denzel in the movie?
No, that's a good guess, but no. It's actually you're thinking drama. It's actually not a drama. It's a black classic comedy.
Oh, he thinks that makes you a man. These make you man. I don't know.
Friday.
Oh, man.
That's when he had the gun and he was talking to Ice Cube.
You know what? I I have seen Friday, but I'm not a Friday watcher.
Really?
Yeah, I have seen Friday.
Okay, which is really all you need to do in the Black community. You have to see
I
Friday.
have seen it a couple times, but I'm not. I only know like the commonly by Felicia. Come on, Craig, you ain't got to lie. You know the iconic lines. I don't really know the like.
But that was
Baby
in
D
the
and all that.
That's Friday after next. That's the
Okay.
second Friday with or the third Friday.
Okay.
That was in the trailer. Cuz I remember rewatching cuz Friday came out in 95. And so
I just don't think my parents let me watch Friday, so that's why
Oh,
I wasn't
no.
able. I never like got attached to it.
I
as
wasn't
much.
supposed to watch Friday either, but when you have older siblings and they just do whatever they want,
Yeah, they
like
don't
they
listen.
don't care. They were whatever they were watching, I was watching. And then when DVDs came out, I remember buying the DVD and I would watch it a
Okay,
lot because
okay.
no cable.
You ain't
college.
got to lie, Chris.
But yes, iconic. Shout out, rest in peace, John Witherspoon.
I know, love
Pops.
him.
Uh,
My love's going
bang bang bang. My love
My
goes
love.
bang bang bang.
You better run for cover.
You sweet little thing.
Get to deep.
You know what? Let's keep it along that lines.
Okay.
The secret is you got to coordinate. Coordinate.
The skating movie. I'm not good at this.
Boomerang. We had the mushroom jacket on.
I told you I don't know a lot of movies, but the movies I know.
Okay. You should know this because
Okay.
this is gonna give it away. Effie, we all got pain.
Okay, Dream Girls. We're dream girls. We giving Dream Girls today.
Make you happy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're your dream girls. Boys will always care.
He was bogus for that.
They were all bogus.
Just give it, yes.
It was given. You want to put the
Curtis,
pretty
you
girl-
were supposed to love me.
Curtis, you were supposed to love me. Oh, iconic. Let's see. Make the money. Don't let the money make you.
Players Club.
Yep. You got
That-
it. Got that down.
The lady was talking to Diamond. What was her name?
Roxy, I think. was her
Okay.
name.
I do recall that.
Yes. She was telling her, make the money, don't let it make you. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Temptations. Da-da-dum. Your love is fading. I can hear your love fading. Ooh, baby, away from me. I love David Ruffin. But what I love even more is what you call playing David Ruffin. He played that Leon.
Oh, Leon.
He ate.
He ate every role he was in, honestly.
Down.
I really got to give it to him.
Where have you been? Well, Leon, where's the new materials?
I don't know. You know, he has a daughter with that lady from The Real Housewives, Cynthia.
But he's such a great actor.
You know, honestly, I feel like
Materials.
I may have seen this, and I could be making it up, but I feel like I saw in the news, not recently, but he was doing theater.
Oh, man, I could see that. But here's the thing. I seen on an interview that was an ad lib.
He said it was an ad lib. But you know, the best ones are ad libs. Recently, Angela Bassett came out and said on the Jackson 5 American
That was an
Dream
ad-lib?
when she was like, I don't want
you, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you no more.
She said that
Love me, Katie. Damn it, Katie.
No. I think a lot of the best lines come from you being in the moment.
He said what he didn't expect is for people to start going to the real Otis and telling him nobody came to see you. That's so rude and disrespectful.
But he wasn't lying.
But now they come to see him. He's the only one left. The irony of it all.
Yeah, I mean, not by choice though. They're all
He's
gone.
the only
They're
real
all
one
passed
left.
on.
But yeah, they said that was a, yeah, he said that was an ad lib. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
That is
He's
incredible.
Such a good
Shout out
actor.
to Leon. He did really good in the 90s and early 2000s. I can't think of a bad act that he's done. Okay, we'll do one more. Let's see. Let's do it for Lil Saint. Lil Saint. Do it for Lil Saint.
It's the baseball movie with Lil Bow Wow.
But there's a very popular boy band in it. Boy group.
B2K.
Yep.
I don't remember the movie though.
Jump in,
Oh,
jump out, breathe in, breathe
breathe
out.
out.
Dun, 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 dun,
I know
dun,
exactly
dun,
what
dun,
movie
dun,
this is.
dun,
Not Step Up.
Ah,
I forget.
you got served.
You got served.
Pump it up. Pump
it up.
Pump it
That
up.
was really a really big part of our teenage
It really
lives.
was.
B2K was really a big part of our teenage years.
I look back at some of the stuff they were wearing in those videos and the
The
way
look-
we were
the
fawning over
Them
them.
bandanas, baby. We're all
Bandanas,
wish away, baby. We
no
thought
sleeve crew neck
cut
sweaters
it out.
with baggy jeans and Adidas on
when
or
you-
Felines.
I love the way you like. What's the song?
They had
Wanna be your everything. They were such a big part of like
I had a
everybody
poster.
was like high school.
Everybody was on J
No,
Bug.
that wasn't high school. That was
Middle school.
middle school.
Middle school. We
Oh
were
my
fawning
God.
over
We
those
were.
boys. It was crazy. And
It
then
was
everybody was
crazy.
going after J Bug, and then Omarion, the one that blew up. And nobody was checking for him anymore. Little Fizz. Oh, yeah, Little Fizz.
My
was
really
going.
good friend was like obsessed with them. She went to the concert and she got put on stage. Yeah, it
What a
was crazy.
moment.
I mean, she deserved it because she was really into them. Like extremely.
That is your reward for being
She
a-
deserved
You
it.
know, back in the day, honestly, you did really get rewards for being super fans.
Super fan.
Like
she
if you
was a
could prove that
super.
you were like down, they would pull you on stage. I've seen that a couple of times.
Fan clubs.
But
and
now
things.
it's like I don't even know if
Did
they
you
do
hear the
fan
story
clubs
that-
anymore.
Did you hear the story that Luther Vandross was the fan club president of LaBelle, Patti LaBelle?
No,
That's how they met. He came there. He was like, I got some outfits for y'all. Let me be y'all fan club president.
That's
That's how they met.
Okay, so I knew he played as what was it, Dionne Warwick's cousin or somebody.
That's how he
But
met
he met Patti
LaBelle.
LaBelle because he was like, "Let me be your fan club president."
he
That's
came
how
to-
easy
he
it used to
came
be back
her
in the day.
backstage and was like, let me be y'all fan club president, and I got some outfits for y'all. And she was like, okay, because we ain't had no money to have no outfits. And she was like, I'll take anything new. And so, yeah. Listen, if you're going to add value,
Where
add
there's a will,
value.
there's a way.
Listen.
But you know, back in the day, it used to be, I'm not gonna say simple, but you had access. You used to be able, because even Diddy used to talk about how he would go door to door. He would find the record labels' addresses somehow.
Not you going to the people's house.
He would go to their
Inappropriate.
house. He's always been inappropriate, obviously. That's a MO. At least we can give him consistency. But he would find these producers and record labels' houses and
That's
go with the
crazy.
tapes and just be like, yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, audacity is really all you really have to
Come
have.
on, let's just, you ain't got, here's the thing. What do you have to lose?
What do you have
Go after your
to
dream.
lose? You already sitting there wanting your dream to come true.
Just go after it.
Just do
All
it.
they can do is
The
tell you
worst
no.
they can do is say no. I mean,
Shoot your shot.
You
As long as
miss
they not married. As long as
100%.
if they not married,
okay, you getting to
go.
you
No,
going different. All right, you going to. But I want to second that
Listen,
somebody
shoot your
else's
shot in life.
spouse.
Shoot
It's
your
not your
shot.
spouse.
It's
I
not your
just want to
spouse.
say that.
So shoot your shot in life. Shoot your shot, for goals. Just shoot your shot. You just never know.
You just really never know. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. And that is very real. And
I have done that. And I have many regrets about just being scary.
And I will just say, and this is like a sales principle too. It's the game of probability.
Ooh, break it down.
How many it's you? So in sales, they talk about the amount of people you encounter. You're bound to get a yes eventually. So for every 10 people, you can get 3 yeses out of that. You just have to keep going and going and going. You have to get through the no's to get to the yeses. So it's about not getting discouraged in the rejection. You just keep going. So it's the law of probability, honestly. The more you do something, the closer you become to colliding with something within that realm. Yeah. So like, let's say you are always going out. That makes, and talking to people, the likelihood of you making connections grows because you're putting yourself out there. You're bound to eventually find someone. I feel like this is how dating apps work too. You are subjected to so many people and you're swiping and going through. Of course, they're going to have success stories because of the law of probability. Eventually, you're going to encounter someone who has the same values, who shares the same sentiments, who wants the same things. And then whatever you're looking for is going to be in that individual. And then you all can live long and prosper.
No, I'm just saying. How you doing? Okay. I don't know what that means. So
it's from...
okay. It's from leave alone.
But yeah, so let's get into this week's episode. So last week we talked about taking inventory of your friendships and kind of making sure. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all.
We almost skipped.
I tried to skip her. My bad.
Corner. Artist. Corner. In the corner with the artist. Let's start. Feeling your feelings. As artists, what helps us create, whether you're a writer in any medium, and gives birth to ideas, is feeling your feelings. If we look at the best, I did a study on Motown music. So I literally
iconic.
Some of the most iconic and that have lived on and stood the test of times for decades have been resung over and over, remixed over and over, still used on commercials and movies to this day, long lasting nostalgia. Okay. And I read a book by the one of the biggest, most successful writing teams ever. It's called Holland Dozier Holland. It's 2 brothers and then one other guy who penned like 70%, 60, 70, a lot of the music from that time period. So they were really, really instrumental in especially the 60s. We're talking the Four Tops. They're responsible for the Supremes, all of their biggest hits. Wow. They're responsible for Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, like a lot. Mike, they ended up working with Michael Jackson and, some Temptation songs. I mean, we're talking like hugely successful songwriters. And the main songwriter, they have a book called I can't remember, but something about These Old Memories or something. And I just finished that book. It was really, really thought provoking because I wanted to just study more about just songwriting and what made a song great. And when you hear the stories about how these songs came to be,
I bet it's probably magnificent.
It is literally ain't too proud to be. And you know it. He was actually going through a very, very rough time with his significant other, and they literally wouldn't get him any attention.
Wow.
And so his therapeutic way he was dealing with was playing on the piano and writing songs. He was a songwriter. But that's what that Beg and bleed for your seat. Like he was. Oh no, that's the wrong song. But they did write that song too.
Right.
Baby, I need your love. Baby, I need your love. And boom. Got to have all your love. That Iconic song is how he came up with that song. He was saying like to his wife, like, I need your loving, I need you.
Wow.
Yeah. So many songs are based on this cringy feeling that you would songs and writing and mediums and art give you the ability to say things that we would never say just out of our mouth.
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability. We would never say, just go up to our partner and say, baby, I need your love and I got to have all your loving. But you could sing it. But you would probably never say that. Or stop in the name of love before you break my heart. You feel that way, but you would never just say that to somebody. So it gives everyone permission to feel. Music and mediums and art gives people permission to feel and express how they feel in a way that they could connect to. Because you would probably just never say that to your partner.
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
But a song can express how you feel. And you can play that song and sing it to them and da-da-da-da. And it's like, it's okay to feel, baby love, my baby love, I need you. Oh, how I need you. You might feel that way, but you would just never really say
Really
that.
walk up to them.
You wouldn't.
It gives you the freedom to express yourself.
Right. So but as a songwriter or a script writer or whatever, you had to feel those emotions yourself first. So your biggest enemy is numbness. You know, being numb to your feelings and not allowing yourself to feel. And I know we're in I am historically positive. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I got $1 in my bank account. I'm like,
$1 in a dream.
Okay. It's going to be okay. And when you're like that, you can sometimes miss the opportunity because you're so set on not feeling bad.
Which is a part of life. Feelings are normal.
All right. The anger, the anguish, the sadness, all of the feelings have a purpose. And if you don't feel them, you cannot create to be able to address certain things, right? So maybe if you were feeling sad, you can create a song like, what song would bring me out of sadness? Okay, if you're creating a show, like what would make me, I might feel sad right now, but what would make me feel happy? What would be funny to me, or what would shift my perspective? But unless you feel those feelings, you can't create that kind of art. So you have to feel the feelings. You have to be vulnerable. You have to feel the feelings of anger. You have to feel the feelings of feeling lost. Whatever you have to create, you have to actually feel those things. You can't avoid it. And I was notoriously like, let's just be happy all the time.
I know.
Lord. Kumbaya.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, no, you need to feel all of those things because they will help you. I'm not saying dwell.
No.
I'm saying feel it and allow the feelings to happen so that you can move past it. But when you're in that moment, you can create. It's an opportunity for you to create.
I think that's so important. And especially like if as believers, sometimes I know we grew up, they told you that feelings, you really weren't taught in the church to feel feelings.
You really weren't.
They were really kind of considered demonic a little bit.
Can be viewed in a certain way,
which is not true. I mean, in the Bible, all kinds of people. Jesus wept.
He flipped some tables.
Job was inquisitive. You know, what have I done to offend you?
Right. He was complaining.
People were upset. Angry. Jesus flipped tables.
Yeah. David cried.
David cried all through Psalms.
Listen. He said, my soul, you have left my soul. Deliver me.
You know, from the hands of my enemy.
Yeah, he was just the anguish, the anger, all of those things.
So it's really important to understand that feelings are not bad, and I really like that you
part of the
touched on
human
not
experience.
dwelling in them. It is a part of the human experience
How
to
can
go
you write
through
a
them.
show? How can you write a show?
How can you write
a TV
anything?
if you don't have that feel the depth of what somebody's going through?
Yeah.
You know, it's like when people write them breakup songs. You can't write these songs unless you've been through some of these things.
Mary
right?
J. Blige is notorious for drawing us in with that. I mean, to this day, we still feel Keke Palmer crying on that bench. 14 and pregnant, wasn't nowhere near that, but I felt that in my soul.
You have to be able to draw inspiration from, you have to be able to feel, and as artists it's like sometimes you don't want to feel because you might feel too deeply, but that's actually a gift.
Real. I was about to say that's a gift. That's
a
where
gift.
the real like life-changing art is gonna come from.
You can pull on those emotions to help you display, like sing a song, even performing a song, writing a song is storytelling, performing a song is storytelling. You need all those emotions to be able to convey what you're trying to convey. So you feeling things deeply as an artist is a gift. I know it feels like I hate this about myself. Like my feelings are hurt. Like, why am I sensitive? Why am I this? But it's really a gift, because if you were too analytical, too logical, you could not draw on those emotions and give other people permission to feel their feelings. Those songs make us feel, give a freedom to be okay with feeling vulnerable.
Yeah.
And saying we have this conversation all the time, talk about the state of R&B. It's like, why are we like trying to be tough all of a sudden in love? Yeah, no, we need to bring back begging and pleading, and I want you and you want me. You know, that doesn't help anybody if everybody's like hate everybody.
Yeah.
You know? So yes, feeling our feelings is a gift, and your biggest op as a creative is just being numb and refusing to allow yourself to feel the things that you feel, which is probably why, if you might, last time we talked about having writer's block. Mm-hmm. If you're not feeling your feelings, and if you're using products to not feel your feelings, and when I say products, y'all know what I'm talking about. Things. So you are numb. It's hard. It's hard to create from a pure place. Mm-hmm. You know,
that's true. Because it's suppressing.
You're suppressing
within yourself and within your mind.
You're suppressing,
which is not normal.
Yes, you're suppressing how you truly feel. You know, and so if you write from a place of like, oh man, I felt these feelings, or I had this bad experience, and then I can use my medium to express myself. That's what you're supposed to be doing as a creative.
You know, they talk about in therapy and in counseling, sitting in your feelings, which is very different from analyzing your feelings. And I can attest that having an analytical mind like I do, and also being a creative, sometimes you can talk yourself out of feelings.
100%.
Like if you're a deep thinker, sometimes you can understand what you're going through, and it can make you feel like, oh, I understand it, so I'm over it and I'm moving on. But that doesn't mean you sat in it and actually like dealt with
felt
it,
went
through it. Yeah, let it go through you,
let it go,
and produce whatever it's supposed to produce. And oftentimes I feel like they show up eventually.
Oh, they're coming out.
They're going to come out.
One way
There's
or
no
other.
way. If you've ever seen like older people who are angry all the time, or annoyed, or even like sad or depressed, like those are a lot of times I feel like suppressed feelings,
with emotions,
things from their past that they just
sure.
never dealt with. It doesn't go away. They just sit in you.
It does not go away.
So you may as well feel the feels.
Feel the feelings. And as an artist, it really is a gift. We'll get to that. That's another show. But we're gonna talk about how bad experiences and hard experiences are a gift.
Yeah.
And how they are the material for the soundtracks.
If you don't go through anything,
you have nothing to say. Yeah. You have nothing to talk about. So we'll deal with that. That'll be another show. But yeah, but if you never have these bad moments and, you know, these tough feelings and feel nervous or whatever and try new things and maybe get disappointed, maybe not, maybe you win, maybe you don't, you have nothing to talk about through your art.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just a unbelievable gift to be able to look at life from that perspective, especially as an artist. It's just like, we're going to talk more about this, but do it for the plot, man.
Do
like,
it for the plot.
Do it. Shout out to, is that Issa Rae?
I think it's Issa Rae.
Yeah, do it for the plot. Like, life is going to give you material. It's up to you to be able to discern it and use it. And not say, oh, my life sucks and this is so hard and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but now you got good materials. You got a whole album on your hands, or you got a movie, or you got a book, or you got a... If you never went through nothing, you wouldn't have nothing. You have a fashion show with no fashions.
No fashion. Spring,
and
summer,
if you know
fall.
what I'm talking about, you know...
Spring, summer, fall.
Yeah, you won't have anything to work with. So feel these feelings and then use them. Create. Learn from them. That doesn't mean you have to release everything you create, but address them.
Yeah.
Use them through your art to address them and learn from them and learn the lesson. Don't just tell the bad stuff. Take me through the resolution as well, you know?
I love that.
So feel your feelings.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Artist corner. Artist. Okay. Corner. Artist. Corner.
It sounds like a cheer.
Artist corner. Artist corner. Yeah, so yeah, that's it for Artist Corner. See y'all next week.
Yes. that'll be
Comment
a part
below
of
if that was helpful to you. What you think about that. Have you had some blocks because maybe you weren't feeling your feelings, maybe you weren't allowing yourself to feel, maybe you were being hyper positive and just like, oh, everything's gonna be okay. But it's okay to just accept that maybe today I feel a little low, and yes, I'm trying to work through it, but I can acknowledge that. It's okay to acknowledge that.
Did this conversation about feeling your feelings make you feel
Your feelings more.
a type of way? Comment below for sure. I think, you know, I had in mind to talk about something else, but the Artist Corner really makes me want to pivot and kind of discuss. I saw interesting conversation, and I felt like it would be something useful for us to talk about. How sometimes you can be open and feel like, you know, you're being yourself, but not being vulnerable. You know, have you ever met someone who can talk a lot and they're not afraid to share their story, what they've been through, what's going on, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're being vulnerable and being open and receptive to people actually penetrating your circle or your heart or whatever. So I kind of just wanted to talk about the difference in feeling like I express myself, I talk, I communicate, I have good communication, but what does that look like in conjunction with vulnerability?
Yeah, that's interesting, and I feel like vulnerability is kind of seen as a dirty word because
for sure.
vulnerability is. I heard somebody talk about the difference between vulnerability and transparency, because nobody wants to be vulnerable because that means that you're in a place where
That's
you
kinda
can be
what I'm
heard,
saying, yeah.
right? And nobody wants to feel like I'm putting myself out there to be heard,
Exactly.
you know? So, I mean, is vulnerability and transparency the idea of it for this conversation? Is it the same?
Yeah.
Okay,
I would
okay.
say,
So
yeah.
we can use it the same. So what you're saying is you're saying a lot, but you're not allowing people in.
And how does that affect, you know what I'm saying, your abilities to make connection and make
It's
friends or
huge.
keep friends, even with the relationships that you do have?
It's so, and what I've seen is, you know, we talked a lot last week about friendship, about true friends, and I don't want y'all to think I'm anti-friend. Clearly, I'm not,
Absolutely
because
not.
we're on Friendship University, and I'm just saying best friend, like close friends. You might not have 5 best friends. If you do, you're truly blessed, but you might not.
Yeah.
At that level, you might have a best friend, 2 best friend, maybe even 3 best friend. Everybody else is just maybe like an associate, or you know, what do they call it?
Outside of associate?
A companion. You understand what I'm saying? Where you share time with, y'all appreciate each other. You know, y'all are, but a deep, deep, deep connection. And I just want to make that clear because that's where this extreme disappointment happens when you put people in categories they really don't belong in that category. Right? And so I just want to clear that up from last week, just in case anybody was like, so I only got 2 friends. You might only have
Quality over quantity.
You might though. And everybody else might be more of associate. Y'all work together. You know.
See, Oprah only keep
but you might. But you might.
Around.
That's true. But you might. So I'm just saying, be open to the idea that everybody don't have to be your best friend. Like that's just not the case. You don't have enough to give that. Anyway, so transparency and vulnerability. What I've learned in relationships is that when I don't allow myself to be transparent or vulnerable with a friend that I know that God sent me, that's number one.
Aha!
You don't want to just be opening up to any old body, because who sent you, first of all? When you...
Who? You know what? Who sent you?
Who? Woodell got something to say. Who sent you? No, for real. Like, where did you come from? What is your motive? Why do you want to be close to me? Like, who are you? Like, I need to know, Lord, did you send this person to be my friend? If so, you know, you'll reveal that in time, you know. But once I find out that, yes, they are from God and a godly friend, then it's like, if I don't open up, I'm missing the support. Listen, you're going to go through some things in life.
Baby.
I feel a tear rise up right in the crack of my eye. You're going to go through some things in life. Life can be devastating in some ways. And if you don't have people who love you, who are for you, that can see past what you're going through, the state that you're in, if you don't have good friends, you are gonna be hurting. And so I know that my friends were such a big part of my healing process at some of my lowest points in my life.
Yeah.
Like, they're such a big part. They speak life into you. They support you. They might give you a $5. They might give you more than $5. They might hold you down while you're trying to figure things out. They might, you know, send something for your kids. They might, you know, send you an opportunity. Like,
encourage you when everybody around you
pray for you.
Is breaking you down.
Breaking you down. Like, you need, if I'm not able to be vulnerable and call and say, girl, I'm having a day.
Today
is a hard day.
What that meme said, today drain me.
Today drain me. Yeah. If I can't say that, man, I can't be honest enough and transparent enough to say, I've missed feeling so lonely, girl, and I'm finna make a phone call.
Baby, help me. Pray for me. Talk to me through the midnight hour because I'm
finna call somebody. I don't need to
making
call.
A decision. That's gone.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
What she said?
No. And your friend gotta be like, girl, no. Slap you. No.
You know, in the movie, they'll be like, get back.
We agree you weren't gonna do this again. Because last time, I had to come get you.
All roads lead to hell. We've been down this road every corner.
You need people to speak to you, to bounce things off of, to, like, if you're not willing to be, you don't get the benefits of friendship, which is, well, what are some benefits of friendship? They're like just
accountability, a sounding ear, a shoulder to lean on, advice, creative juices. Sometimes even when you're in a stump, they can creatively help you. Financially, they can help you sometimes. Reliability, and just moral all around support. A support system. And you know what I think about with the Artist Corner? I think having feelings and being able to communicate them is transparency. Feeling them is vulnerability.
Oh, that's good.
Actually going through and sitting
love
in them. And so when you feel them, I think that leads to you being able to communicate.
Them.
Yes.
I love that. You so smart.
And so thank you, Wadell. And so I really wanted to address that difference, because even myself, I can look back on times where I would like to think that I communicate well. I'm able to express myself, and I have words for the way.
You have a lot of words up there.
I have a lot of words in my head.
Big words up
there. But there were times that I can look back on my life.
Like, what that mean? Let me look that up.
You know where that comes? Reading. Just reading. I'm still learning words. There's so many words. I learned a new word the other day. It was very exciting. But I can look back on times where, man, I analytically, and I talked about this with Artist Corner, was able to express, I have the vocabulary to talk about what I'm going through, but I'm not actually feeling it. And I had to go back, and that was really the Lord coming back and being like, you didn't feel that. Like, you talked yourself through it, and you felt like, oh, I've talked myself off the edge. You still on the edge.
Can we talk about a great example of in our friendship where I was numb? This is such a great topic because it came over from Artist Corner. I was not able to feel my feelings and how it affected our relationship.
Oh, yes, I think I know what you're about to talk about. That dang, that ain't no puppy.
Do you want to tell the story or I want to tell the story?
Okay, you want to tell it?
You can tell it.
Okay, I think we've talked about this before, but this is a great example, so we're going to circle back around to it. Tara and I used to live together in college, and I had a friend who was going out of town, and they wanted me to watch their dog. So at the time, Tara was working for the community as a leasing agent in the property that we were living in, and they were paying her rent, all that. Yeah. So it was her job, and we weren't supposed to have pets on the property. Rule number one that I just completely negated. I was like, okay, yeah, we're not supposed to have pets. Whatever. She works there. I'm not going to say this is what I felt, but now look, who cares? It's probably how she felt. And so I told her, I was like, oh, my friend's going out of town. I need to watch his dog for 2 weeks. 2 weeks come and go. The dog is still there. And this was not like a docile, older, quiet. This was a Pomeranian. You know, they're energy. Very yappy. Loud. They're high energy. They're loud. They bark. They like to go around. They shed, all kinds of stuff. I decided, because I fell in love with the dog, I'm going to keep it. My friend was like, oh, yeah, you know, because at the time her fiance was like in the army. They were like moving. She was like, yeah, you can keep it. We've got other dogs. I didn't really communicate. First of all, I never asked if it was okay for me to watch the dog.
You did ask.
I did.
You did ask. I
never asked if I could keep it.
Definitely didn't.
I never asked.
Because I was like, I don't even think it was supposed to be 2 weeks. I think it might have been 1 week or something. But it was just like the dog's still here. Like,
the dog was here, and and I never really talked about it. And then she was like, "So I think you brought it up, like, so when is the dog leaving?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna keep it," or something like that. Like, "Oh, I really like it. I want a dog. I'm gonna keep it." And it was like a okay kind of situation. Never talked about it. I didn't talk. We had another roommate. It was 3 of us living in the house. I didn't even talk about it with that roommate. I was so oblivious. This is a prime example of how you really be in your bubble, and you can be selfish and not even understand that you're being selfish.
So here's the thing. To add, we have to add a little bit. I had being able to live and work at this apartment complex was like a miracle for me, because when I came back to finish out my last year of school, it was like I had no more funding for my housing. Yeah. So God like made a way for me to like work for this apartment complex and still have, you know, housing or whatever. And so when she and have a job. So when she jeopardized my job,
Yeah.
I felt like you don't care about me, because if I lose this
jeopardized
job,
everything.
you jeopardize my whole life.
Yeah.
Because if I lose this job, I can't go to school, and I'm not gonna have nowhere to live, because I can't pay for this housing without this job. So all this was going on in me, but wasn't feeling it. So I wasn't able to communicate it.
Yeah.
I was just numb, but I knew I was bothered. But I was so detached from how I felt, my feelings.
And didn't want to do conflict.
Yeah, I was
like,
anti-conflict. Very anti-conflict. Yeah. I didn't feel my feelings at the time. Like, where I'm from, don't nobody care about your feelings. Just do what you got to do. Like, I just wasn't raised like that. So I started leaking, though.
You started acting. And for me, I grew up in a community where we felt our feelings. We talked about it. You look upset. What's wrong with you? Yeah. Why you sound like that? Tell me what's going on. But I also grew up the baby. Mm-hmm. And so I never really had to, I just did whatever I wanted to do all the time. That was something that I had to learn and grow into. Like, you don't always get your way. You don't always just get to do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. Which, like I said, looking back on it, it's like I was so oblivious. Like, I want a dog. And my life was so different. You're thinking like, this is my best friend. Of course I care about them and I understand what they're going through. But I really didn't understand what Tara was going through. I had financial aid. I had a scholarship. Money was not a problem for me. Mm-hmm. Like, throughout my entire college career, I never thought about money. So, I mean, in the sense of, like, obviously I was working. I had a job to have my own money to buy things that I personally wanted. Mm-hmm. But as far as school and all of that was concerned, I never worried about that.
Yeah, and for me, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
I always worried about money. Like, the whole time. Like, I'm out of state. I don't have all these scholarships. Like, you know, my parents only can do so much to help me, blah, blah, blah. It was always a constant thing in my mind. Like, how am I going to pay to live? And so I finally get in a place where it's like, okay, I got a job.
And I celebrated. I remember you applying.
We prayed
over the application. We were like, this job is yours. And she got it. And we were like, yes, this is a miracle, girl. Like, God really do still want to do. And I just did it. And I brought the dog in. And maintenance came at one point and asked about the dog. And I think that's how it came up. Like, you asked, when is the dog leaving or something like that?
Because they were remodeling things and they were about to be coming to my apartment. And I it was just like, I started acting weird. I was being avoidant.
Yeah,
I
could feel it.
Started acting weird because, and it wasn't, I was doing it on purpose.
No.
It was just, I didn't know how to express how I felt. But she was way better at expressing how she felt. I mean, I'm way better now. Yeah. But she was way better at expressing how she felt. So she came to me and was like, what's wrong with you?
And she was like, what? And I was like, you're acting weird.
And I was like,
something is bothering you.
I remember what happened, but I stomped up the stairs and slammed my door. And we never fight like that. Like, never.
Never. And we haven't since.
We haven't since. I think that was like our one only like real fight.
Conflict, yeah.
Yeah. And I sat on the bed and I was like, I don't know. She just da-da-da. And God was like, You're angry. I was like, I am? I'm never angry. I'm Miss Happy. I'm Miss Positive. No, you're angry. I was like, why am I angry? I got to ask the Lord why I'm angry because I don't even know. Because I'm so detached. Yep. Okay, you can be in a place where you're just so detached. You don't feel, you're numb, you know? And he's like, yeah, you're mad because of the dog. And I was like, oh, I am. You're just going through the motions. You're just going through the motion. I was like, why do I act like that? I don't spaz on people.
Never.
I don't crash out on people at all. Like, I never do that. And you're like, you're angry. You're angry about the dog. You need to go confront the situation and talk about it. So I came down to her room and I sat on her bed. And I was like...
The dog was in my bedroom, in the cage, right there.
I said, I understand that you care for this dog and everything, but I just don't feel like you are understanding where I'm coming from. We cannot keep the dog. Like, if I lose my job, I have to go back home. Your friend is leaving.
And okay? For me, that was my aha moment. You had yours upstairs and a light bulb clicked in my head and I was like, Wow, I'm so sorry. And
Yeah.
I think the dog was gone like within the week,
But
within a
I
few
had
days.
to learn to feel, be vulnerable with, and feel the feelings that I was feeling. And God can help you through that. And then I had to be transparent and really vocalize that to you, really say how I really felt, and not in an attack mode. And not from a place of like, you don't care about me, blah, blah, blah. But just like, hey, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you're clear about this.
Approaching it with positive intent that this person is not maliciously trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
Let me clarify the situation
Yeah.
of what's going on.
Yeah, so transparency and vulnerability, it really is a powerful tool to
Yeah, they work
help
hand
you
in hand.
experience friendship in a better place, and to also, experience all the benefits that we talked about, but also to problem solve.
Problem solve, and it also can show you where you stand in
Where you
someone's
are.
life and where you are. Because for me, when Tara said you are jeopardizing my livelihood, I done fought all my life. I had to fight.
Oh my, that's why I connect with the color purple, because I be having to fight.
She fought all through college, and I was there for
To
every
be
step
here.
of the way.
Yeah.
And when she said that, it clicked in my mind like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I am about to be. I was about to say somebody from the Bible, but I ain't gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna be somebody who was I'm not your enemy.
Yeah.
I'm your friend.
Yeah.
And I care about you. And I want you to know I would never
Yeah.
want to do something to jeopardize that. And I immediately, and it was difficult. I even had to have a conversation with my friend because they had to drive back down and pick the dog up from like Virginia.
Whoa.
Yeah. And, I had to have the conversation like, yeah. And that was like me going through having to feel the feels and going through that. But I got rid of the dog because I cared about you. And you were worth way more than, a dog.
I hope so.
But transparency.
Dogs are a man's best friend. No, just
That's
joking.
what they say. And we love pets around here. You're
Yeah.
probably gonna see a dog run around here soon. But transparency and vulnerability, I think, have to go hand in hand. You can be transparent without being vulnerable, but you can't be vulnerable without being transparent. And so I think the powerhouse is in the vulnerability and being transparent versus just being vocal. Because like I said, I've met people who talk
Say a
and
lot of
they'll say a
nothing.
lot of nothing. And
I
I feel
somebody
like,
say a lot of nothing.
and you be like, you
said
talk a
absolutely
lot, but you
nothing.
aren't saying anything. Drop in the chat if you've ever encountered someone who talk a lot but don't say nothing.
You're never the villain in the story. You never make a mistake. You never had to grow. You never had to do anything. You just
It was
always
just everybody else.
you just perfect all the time.
All the
No,
time.
like
Or maybe you are always the victim. You just it just live.
always against you.
Everybody's against me. I just never can make it in life. It's just never gonna go my way. Whatever. Like, come on. The common denominator in all these stories is you.
oh Lord.
So, yeah, it made me want to pivot because of the artist corner. Because I was like, man, you feel your feelings. That is very vulnerable. Being vulnerable as an artist, feeling the feels is being vulnerable with yourself, being vulnerable with God, and expressing them. The transparency and creating the art is that being transparent to the world, and then really, which is. We're not sitting here and saying that this is easy. We both had to grow into feeling our feelings and being able to get to a place. I don't even want to use the term comfortable with it because feelings sometimes are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But being okay with knowing that it's a human experience to go through emotions.
And really evaluate, is there anybody you can feel safe enough to be transparent with? And if you can't, we need to look at the friendships.
Yeah.
Or look at you. Maybe there are safe people around you, but you just choose to like, I got it. I ain't nothing's wrong. Like, I don't need this and I don't need that. And you're missing out on the support that you could be getting. We all need support. Like, we all do. And so maybe you're not allowing people to be there for you. And it's killing you. Like literally, like it's hurting you.
It can kill you. Stop trying to carry the world on your back.
Yeah.
Please.
You know, and it's people that love you and are willing to be there for you. And I can be terrible at this. This is how I can speak to this, because I just went through, I'm still transitioning in a season where I just took pride in not having to ask nobody for nothing.
Man.
Like, that was my, like, claim to fame. Like, I'm good.
I got it.
I can survive. Like, you know, and I don't want to be a burden, and I don't want to be a bother.
Which is just a lie.
It's just a
when
lie.
When people care about you, they want to help you.
They want to help you. And so, but it was so hard for me to ask for help. I just felt like people were judging me. You know, I'd rather not be judged, so I'll just figure it out and all this other stuff. And the fact of the matter is, that's not how you win in life, you know? But I felt like God was saying, that's prideful, Tara, because you would want your friend to ask you, and you wouldn't mind giving to them if you had it. Like, it would be nothing. Like, in my mind, I'm going to factor you in how I can be a blessing to you. And you don't mind doing that for other people, but you won't let people do it for you. That's pride. And so I had to be like, oh, okay, that's pride. Or fear of rejection. You don't want to be rejected, so you're not even going to ask. You're not even going to try. You know, that's just from a place of rejection. So I just think that when we refuse help that God sends us, we are really shooting ourselves in the foot. Like, we're making our life harder. People truly are our greatest resources. Like, we're not just saying that. Like, Chris doesn't say that every show. Just, they really are a relationship. One relationship can change your entire life. One friendship.
For the good or the bad.
For the good or for the bad. And so, it's like, if God sent you somebody to be a blessing to you, to help you, to speak into your life, like, why would you reject that? He's trying to help you.
I think God could take that as you rejecting him.
Yes.
I sent you this resource. I sent you this friend. I sent you this person who's supposed to be
help you.
That God sent, and you don't want to accept that.
Because you like, I got it. But you don't got it.
You don't got it. And I want to say this, everybody experiences this, but we speak as two black women. As black women, oftentimes, we can feel like we gained something from taking on the weight of the world. But I remember listening to a story from someone, and they were talking about their birthing experience, and they wanted to be a trooper and not get this epidural not for any reason of fear. They just wanted to tough it out. And the nurse came in and was like, what's your pain level? And they said, I mean, it was excruciating pain for them, but they was like, they took a deep breath and said, I'm okay. And the nurse looked at her and said, what do you gain from not telling the truth about what you're dealing with right now? Do you want some help? And she said, get the epidural.
Give me the help that I need.
Give it to me.
Yeah, give me.
And was smooth sailing from then on out. Like, what do you gain? What cookie, what award, what are you looking for? What validation are you trying to seek by doing it by yourself? That's why I'm so anti no new friends. Oh, I did it by myself. All that is lies. Nobody gets anywhere without somebody. Lies. That is just period.
Lies. You need the right people. And God will send you the right people. And he will let you know they are the right. These are people you can trust, and at what level and yada yada. But it's just like, you need some help. Yeah. You can't do this by yourself. You just cannot. And you really miss out. It could be your next season. Like the thing you've been praying, believing God for. Like really believing like this is going to happen for me. This is going to happen for me. But it could be wrapped up in a relationship, a connection. And if you're not willing to say, man, I have this idea, we really would love to work with you on this, because you're too scared of rejection, or you too don't want to tell people that you're struggling. You can't come and look like you got it all together and be performative. Yeah, no, I don't have it, but I got a dream though. And what do you think about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can only progress to the point that we can be honest. Like,
Yeah.
we gotta be able to be honest about
And
stuff.
you know what vulnerability does? Make you be honest.
You have
and I
to be
think that's
honest.
why a lot of people don't like to be vulnerable. Yes, it's rejection and fear and whatever, but we don't want to be honest with
we don't
ourselves.
want to be honest about where we are and like what we're going through and all of that. Like, you got to be able to like be like, I don't really care how I come off, you know. I just hear like all I got is my honesty.
Man, have you ever been like there? Have you ever seen or been like so violently ill, like throwing up, regurgitating, all of that? After a while, it's like I don't even care what I look like.
Bruh.
Like, I just want to feel better.
I just want to feel better. I just want to feel better.
People, like, if you've ever seen someone who's like drunk or something and like hugging a toilet, they just gotta get it out. They don't care that it's butts to seats or that's been in that public toilet. It's like, I gotta get this out. Like, I think suppressing makes you violently ill.
Man, yeah.
And the
For real.
the
It make you
regurgitation of that, and it can make you physically sick and spiritually sick. It can make you feel they talk about like stress being a leading cause of these diseases that people are getting, high blood pressure. Yeah, it's literally making you sick. And I think the physical regurgitation outside of disease with suppressing is lashing out, being angry, you're upset, kind of what Tara was going through, where she was like, her emotions weren't being felt. And so I could sense and see physically, I could see she was standoffish. Tara's always been a touchy-feely, sit next to, she wasn't sitting on the couch. She would come home, she would go to her room, she wouldn't say anything.
But I didn't know I was doing that.
We would go eat dinner together. She was taking her food to her room, not saying anything. And I'm like, something is wrong. And this ain't
Wendy's
about
in the bed. Why you eating Wendy's in the bed? Y'all got a whole kitchen, huh? Why?
she didn't want to be bothered by me.
I was mad, but I didn't know I was mad. I just felt like
and that comes off, and you can see that. You'll start to see that, and so, if you are that individual, we're encouraging you to first experience the feelings within yourself. Maybe take them to God. Maybe you don't even know what you're going through.
Journaling really helps.
It does help.
Feel my feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Really does. I know that there's this phenomenon about journaling right now, right? But it really truly does help you. When you have language to put towards how you're feeling, it helps you process it a little bit better. Yeah. So writing it down, and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody but you.
It doesn't. That's the
beautiful
part.
That's the beauty of journaling.
Yeah.
So we want you all to feel your feelings. And I love that we had this conversation, because it's even making me think back on times, even just recently, where maybe I didn't feel what I was supposed to feel. Maybe I just, was like, oh, this too shall pass, but maybe I'm supposed to sit in it for a minute. And we're not saying that you stay there again. Feelings are fleeting. You're not necessarily putting your faith into them, but you need to address them.
You need to address them. Yeah. And to address them, you probably have to feel them.
And they're not going to go away. The feelings really just cycle through. So if you are angry about something, or you're sad about something, and you don't go through it and sit in it and feel it, it's going to come back around.
Because we just will bypass. You got hurt, you had a betrayal, you got cheated, whatever, and you just be like, I got to hustle, and I got to do this, and one monkey don't stop no show, and this, and you grieving, but you didn't even let yourself grieve the relationship or the friendship or the job loss or whatever. Like, you're grieving, and we have to address that. And say, okay, how did I feel about this? What are my feelings right now? Like, what am I thinking about? Is that even true? I just feel like now, I'll never have another good friend. Is that even true? But that's what's rolling around in my mind. So it's not till I start maybe writing or actually talking about the situation to someone that it comes out of my mouth or it comes out on paper and you're like, oh, well, that's not true. Like I created that in my mind to protect myself. I made that story up.
And that could be another conversation that we have where perception and what's actually reality.
What's
happening.
Where I felt that blanking in my mind when it's really not true. I just told myself that to be able to cope with the situation. And it's not till I start, and then then the problem with that is you can build a whole belief system
based off of a thought that wasn't true.
Based off of a feeling you never addressed because you never took the time to really sit with yourself and be like, what am I thinking about this? And process how you feel about a situation or what the pain or whatever feelings came along with it. So now you moving in a way through the world based on this belief that was a feeling that was never addressed. Like, we have to deal with this stuff. It's like, well, I don't need no friends. I'll never have another friend because you got your feeling because you were hurt. That's just not true. That friend hurt you. Not every friend.
Yep.
So it's so important that we feel them, we address them, and that we're able to be vulnerable, be transparent and vulnerable so that we can like walk through the world as a healed person and not lashing out and crashing out on everybody.
Yeah.
Lashing and crashing.
And I want to end with saying that feeling your feelings, that's for good emotions too.
Yes.
Being excited, allowing yourself to feel hope, to want, to desire things. Those are also emotions that you need to feel. It's okay to desire something. We're going to talk a little bit more about kind of like addressing the stigma of desiring like companionship and different things like that. It's okay to feel that. It's a part of the natural human experience. It's okay to be excited. It's okay to be proud of yourself. Now we're not talking about walking around in pride, but yeah. So all of that is okay.
Like, look what happened. Look what I overcame this. Oh, Chris would have did this. You know, Tara 1.0 would have did this, but I'm 2.0 right
and
now.
I didn't crash out. Congratulations. So I think this week for your homework assignment, we would really love for you all to write down the last 3 emotions you felt. Try to pinpoint the events that caused them. And then we want you to evaluate whether you actually felt that feeling. Is it reoccurring? Is it showing back up in the way that you're responding to other things?
Yeah, because maybe you didn't deal with it.
So
it's popping back up.
Yeah, and pop it in the chat. You know, tell us what you're feeling now. Tell us the last emotion that you felt the feels on and what it did for you, how you felt after you felt the feelings. So we are so thankful to have another episode with you all. I really enjoyed this conversation. We hope that you all gained some information or some knowledge from it, or at best just had a good laugh, you know, with us, because we be kikiing and acting up. And yes, and just a note to audience, ask your roommates before you get picks, please, and thank you. That would be very considerate. We thank you for tuning in to another episode, and we will see you all next week. Peace. Hey friends, it's Kristen from Friendship University Podcast. We've got something super exciting that we just have to share with you.
That's right. We're launching our brand new Substack community, and we want you to be a part of it.
Now, if you've been tuning in, you already know that we're all about having deeper, more meaningful conversations. But guess what? We're about to take it to the next level.
And on Substack, you'll get every episode delivered straight to your inbox. But it's not just about the episode. We're giving you more. We'll be diving deeper into the things we talk about, offering exclusive resources, and giving you extra tools to help you grow and be the best friend you can be.
It's like having a personal study guide for every episode, plus bonus content. Think of it as your VIP pass to even closer look at stuff that matters to us and hopefully matters to you too. Friendship, personal growth, and living life with intention. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button on Substack and become part of our growing community. We want to get to know you better, share more with you, and really dig deep into the real life stuff that makes us all best friends.
Join us and let's make this space feel like a real community of real friends. We're excited to bring you along for the ride. And hey, we're not just friends, we're community.
That's right. So don't miss out. Go subscribe to Friendship University on Substack today. And let's get this conversation started.
Hey everybody, it's Tara.
And Kristen.
And today is
Friendship
Fridays.
This is your reminder to head over to our YouTube channel and get in on this lesson because
Class is in session.
We'll see you over there. Bye.